Power sharing. Power sharing refers to the distribution of political authority and decision-making among different levels or branches of government, as well as among various social groups or communities within a society. It is a concept aimed at ensuring a more inclusive and participatory governance structure. Power sharing can take different forms, depending on the specific political system and context. Here are some common models of power sharing. 1. Federalism. In a federal system, power is divided between a central government and regional or state governments. Each level of government has its own set of powers and responsibilities, and they share authority over certain areas. This model allows for regional autonomy and accommodates diverse interests within a country. 2. Devolution. Similar to federalism, devolution involves the transfer of power from a central government to regional or local governments. However, in a devolved system, the central government retains ultimate authority and can revoke or modify the powers granted to regional entities. 3. Consociationalism. This model is often used in societies with deep ethnic, religious, or linguistic divisions. Consociationalism emphasizes power sharing among different groups through proportional representation, ensuring that various communities have a voice in decision-making processes. 4. Coalition governments. In a parliamentary system, where the executive branch is dependent on the support of the legislative branch, power sharing can occur through the formation of coalition governments. Political parties with different ideologies or interests join forces to gain a majority in the legislature and form a government. 5. Checks and balances. Power sharing can also be achieved through institutional mechanisms that provide checks and balances within a government. Separation of powers between the executive, legislative, and judicial branches ensures that no single entity has excessive authority, and each branch acts as a restraint on the others. The purpose of power sharing is to foster inclusivity, promote stability, and prevent the domination of one group or individual over others. By involving diverse perspectives in decision-making processes, power sharing helps to accommodate different interests, reduce conflicts, and promote social cohesion within a society. Why power sharing is desirable? Power sharing is considered desirable for several reasons. 1. Inclusivity and representation. Power sharing ensures that diverse groups and communities have a voice in decision-making processes. It allows for the representation of different interests, perspectives, and concerns, thereby promoting inclusivity and preventing the marginalization of certain sections of society. 2. Stability and conflict resolution. By accommodating multiple interests and preventing the concentration of power in the hands of a few, power sharing can help mitigate conflicts and maintain social stability. It allows for the peaceful resolution of disputes and promotes a sense of fairness and justice among various groups. 3. Social cohesion. Power sharing can foster a sense of unity and social cohesion by recognizing and respecting the diversity of a society. It provides a framework for managing and reconciling differences, promoting cooperation, and fostering a shared sense of ownership in decision-making processes. 4. Protection of minority rights. Power sharing is particularly important in societies with diverse ethnic, religious, or linguistic communities. It helps safeguard the rights and interests of minority groups by ensuring their representation and involvement in governance. It prevents the dominance of any particular group and protects minority rights from being overlooked or violated. 5. Checks and balances. Power sharing mechanisms, such as separation of powers and independent judiciary, serve as checks and balances on the exercise of authority. They prevent abuses of power, promote accountability, and safeguard democratic principles by limiting the concentration of power in the hands of a single individual or group. 6. Innovation and efficiency. Power sharing encourages the participation of multiple stakeholders in decision-making processes. This diversity of perspectives can lead to innovative solutions, as different groups bring unique insights and expertise to the table. It can also enhance efficiency by distributing responsibilities and allowing for specialization within different branches or levels of government. Overall, power sharing is desirable because it promotes inclusive governance, prevents conflicts, protects minority rights, ensures accountability, and fosters social cohesion within diverse societies. It is an essential component of democratic systems and plays a crucial role in building and sustaining stable and inclusive societies. Forms of power sharing. Power sharing can take various forms, depending on the specific context and political system. Here are some common forms of power sharing. 1. Horizontal power sharing. A. Separation of powers. Power is distributed among different branches of government, such as the executive, legislative, and judicial branches. Each branch has its own distinct powers and functions, providing a system of checks and balances. B. Checks and balances. Each branch of government has the ability to limit or check the powers of the other branches, preventing any one branch from becoming too dominant. 2. Vertical power sharing. A. Federalism. Power is divided between a central government and regional or state governments. Both levels of government have their own set of powers and areas of authority, allowing for regional autonomy and local governance. B. Devolution. Power is devolved from a central government to regional or local governments, granting them certain powers and decision-making authority while retaining ultimate sovereignty at the center. 3. Consociational power sharing. A. Proportional representation. It involves the fair representation of different communities or groups in decision-making bodies, such as legislatures or cabinets, based on their numerical strength or proportion of the population. This ensures that diverse groups have a voice in the political process. B. Grand coalition. In divided societies, political parties or factions from different communities form a coalition government, where power is shared among them. This arrangement helps to build trust, accommodate diverse interests, and promote stability. 4. Power sharing in conflict resolution. A. Peace agreements. In conflict-ridden societies, power-sharing agreements may be established as part of peace processes. This can involve the inclusion of previously marginalized groups in governance, the allocation of positions of power, or the creation of power-sharing institutions to address the root causes of the conflict. B. Consensus building. Power-sharing mechanisms are used to bring conflicting parties together to negotiate and reach consensus on key issues. This can involve power-sharing arrangements, joint decision-making, or the establishment of transitional or unity governments. It's important to note that these forms of power sharing are not mutually exclusive and can coexist in different combinations within a political system. The specific form of power sharing implemented depends on the unique circumstances and challenges of a particular society or country. Thanks for watching. Political Knowledge 8470.